All right, welcome to the Kwak Brothers Real Estate Investor Podcast. Welcome back, guys. Today's Halloween, so today's gonna be a special edition. So Daniel, we just closed on a 36-unit property today.
We did, man. It was a long day.
It was a very, very long day.
14-hour work week. But you know what? It's not work. Here's the beautiful. Oh, hello.
See, this is what happens if you buy him a new microphone.
New studio equipment, man.
Yeah.
Here's the beautiful thing, man. Here's what I like.
Yeah.
True or false? If we woke up tomorrow,
right,
and we said we want to go to Utah and ski for 3 months, can we do that?
I think so. I think we can. I think generally with the financial budget we have and the cash flow right now, I think we definitely can.
We can.
We definitely can. So
now here's the thing.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people watching out there who are pissed off. They're like, man, these 23, 25-year-olds, man.
Yeah, that's true.
They're disrespecting us. But here's the thing. Why do you think we're making this podcast?
Right. Just to help you.
You can do the same thing.
Right. So today being Halloween, you know what? Let's talk about some horror stories. Horror stories of real estate investing.
Awesome. That's very good.
So there we go. We're going to talk about some horror stories.
We just thought about that right now, actually.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. This is totally not arranged. Anyway, so Daniel, I'm going to kick off with you. Can you think of anything that I would say is considered a horror story? I know I got one.
Let's do this. Let's start on a good note. Let's talk about the 36 unit. A little bit about the 36 unit, and then we'll talk about horror stories.
Yeah.
Because we got a webinar next week, right? Deal
Absolutely.
or no deal.
Deal or no deal.
You got Mr. Howie Mandel right here. Man.
So to give you an idea what this is, deal or no deal webinar is. So next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. So 7 p.m. here in the Chicago area. If you're in New York, if you're in the Eastern Seaboard, you're looking at 8 o'clock. We're going to be doing a deal or no deal webinar where we're going to show you basically the 36 unit. We're going to do a little more rundown, but also at the same time, we're going to have you guys bring your deals where one of us is going to analyze it and show you and give you guys our feedback as far as if it's going to be a good deal or not a good deal. So this is a great opportunity.
We need to create a real life animation. We need to get some really attractive girls to hold a sign that says deal, and then another girl that says no deal.
There you go.
And whenever somebody says the deal, we just push a button and it just cuts to the video of a certain girl holding deal or no deal.
Anyway, so if you guys want to sign up for that webinar, whether you want to attend or volunteer your
What's
deal,
the link, man?
It's going to be the kwakbrothers.com/deal or no deal. There's no spaces, just deal or no deal. Go there, sign up for it. You can also get the emails about our upcoming webinars and any events that we're doing. If you just go to thekwakbrothers.com, you'll see it on the screen, thekwakbrothers.com, sign up there. And also, Daniel and I are always looking for qualifying individuals. If you guys want to work with us on a personal level, I mean, we're getting close to 500 people every single month asking basically to work with them, right? To help them and mentor them, to show them the ropes.
Yeah, but we probably only pick like, what, 5?
You want to get closer to the microphone here.
We probably only pick like, what, 5?
Yeah, usually about 5 to some people.
I tell you, here's the thing, man. Like, here's the thing. If a lot of people ask me all the time, and I got asked this question. I was at dinner with one of the key guys that we mentor, Eric, right?
Oh, right.
Really good dude, man. Pro amateur fighter. Crazy story, man. That guy's a good guy. Eric, if you're listening, man, we gotta give a shout out. We gotta shout out more people on our team, man. We gotta lift other people up, right? So shout out to Eric, right? But he was asking me, he was like, "Hey, man, what is the percentage of success for me?" You know what I mean? Like, and I noticed that so many people out there, like, they want to be told, they want that validation, right? But that validation can only come from work ethic, and just on work ethic alone, right? Out of 100 people, Sam. Out of those 100 people, how many of those people have the proper work ethic? Out of 100 people,
I think honestly like 2.
2? You're generous, man. I say
2.
0.1. I say one arm of one person out of 100 people.
So so back to the point here. I just want to make sure we're moving forward with the podcast. I know we love to tell a story, but if you guys want to start working with us,
deal or no deal, man. Right.
So if you want to start working with us, if you want our help in getting you started in real estate investing, or you're already in real estate investing but you're struggling to get to the next level, we are looking for individuals to work with us. So if you guys are interested, all you have to do is go to thekwakbrothers.com/learn. That's thekwakbrothers.com/learn. You'll see it on the screen right here. So you'll learn it. Come learn with us, right? There's no cost of finding out the information. But yeah, if you guys want to learn with us and work with us and personally get in that relationship with us, then that link is available. So
36 unit, man. Let's go talk about the 36 unit. We closed on the 36 unit today.
Yep.
Right? It's a bit of a different deal. And this story is a bit of a testament. And here, I'm not going to tell you the whole story, right? I mean, I'm not
Sure.
going to share here how the deal is done. This deal was done by myself, and my primary partner, Ed, and 4 other investors around the country. Right? It was a good deal, man. It was a great deal. I had the opportunity to put it together. I love putting deals together. It was 4 months, and typically most deals don't take this long, but it was 4 months of hard work. Right?
Yeah.
It all kind of came together, and typically closings, they're usually the product of weeks of preparation. The closing is the easiest part, people. It really is. Right? It really is. So 36 units. Right now, the cash flow income on it, gross income on it is 275.
Yeah.
Right? In 3 years, that's gonna be a lot higher.
Significantly higher.
The net right now is at 139. Right? A year. The net in 3 years with the projections that we got going on, because I consider myself to be a value creational scientist. Right? Acquisitional real estate, I believe, is dying. I'm a value creational real estate investor, right? And our cash flow, our net cash flow, in after 3 years of us having it, with the plans that we got, it's gonna be 230.
Yeah.
230, man.
That's net, folks.
Net, folks.
Net.
Net income.
Right.
230
Bottom line.
a year.
Right.
How many Americans, Sam, make $230,000 a year?
You know, that's considered, I think, the top 5%.
Let alone that's money you're making while you sleep, folks. While you sleep.
And plus, what we do is we like to share. Well, what we do to do with that money, and especially when it comes to taxes, right? People who are making $200,000 working for a job can be taxed upwards of 50-60%. So with the cash flow that we're getting, the net income that we're earning from this particular apartment building, most of that could be tax deferred, where we may not have to pay the taxes.
We also get to take advantage of depreciation.
Right, the depreciation.
Tax
So,
depreciation.
so Daniel, I think we might have to cut it up from here. Yeah, because if you guys want to learn more about what we just did with the 36 unit, come back next week. Yeah, Tuesday night, 7 p.m.
Right,
go sign up at the kwakbrothers.com/deal or no deal. There we go.
Good, man.
Yeah,
let's go. Come on, that was all
perfect.
right, man.
So let's go and talk about some horror stories about real estate investing. So Daniel, what is some of the horror stories?
Man,
that
I don't know if you guys ever saw that article on Facebook. That landlord,
right.
they got indicted,
yes,
right? How many millions?
San Francisco
dude,
deal,
that's nuts.
3 point some million dollars.
Man.
That's insane. So
Come on now.
For those who didn't read the article, it was basically, and I'm not going to try to quote verbatim here, but to give you a quick summary, it was basically an investor / landlord that was trying to basically raise the rent, and her tactic, quote unquote, was trying to basically letting the tenants know that, hey, I'm moving in, or at least my family member is. If you want to stick around, you have to leave because I'm going to be moving in, and my family is going to be moving in. Her whole tactic behind that was so that she can make the tenant leave, the landlord to make the tenant leave, and then basically bring a new tenant in by raising the rent, right? Of course, she lied about it. That's fraud, right? Could be counted towards discrimination by doing that. So, of course, the tenant that was evicted or kicked out was sued the landlord for, the damages and that all, attorney fee, and that all came out to be about $3 million. You guys can go check it out. It's just Google San Francisco landlord indictment, right? It'll be there. So crazy stuff that's happening.
Oh yeah.
So what is the lesson to be learned from that, right? What is your suggestion, Daniel? What would be the lesson?
It's honestly a lot of people think that you have to cheat the rules to make money.
Right.
In my experience is working with being millionaires ourselves, right? Myself being a 23-year-old millionaire, which I think that's kind of rare. You don't see that a whole lot, right? I'm very proud of ourselves, right? It's just like you'd be surprised. I know folks who make money playing by the rules, and I know folks who make money not playing by the rules, right? And I know the law for sure. I can tell you guys right now, the folks who play by the rules make more long-term wealth.
Right.
The folks who don't play by the rules are focused on being rich, right? But the folks who play by the rules are focused on building long-term wealth. You want that long-term wealth.
Absolutely.
Right? You'd be very surprised how much playing by the rules and just being a nice guy will get you.
Yeah.
Right? There are a lot of people who want to work with me and Sam because we're not a jerk.
Right.
There's so many people who, because we're nice, we're positive people, we're good people to be around, but mainly because we just, at the end of the day, guys, it's better to cross your T's, dot your I's, and play by the rules because what you do does not only affect yourself, but it also affects your family.
Right.
It also affects your business partners and their families. It also affects the reputation of your entire organization.
So what basically comes down to me, I think, from that article is integrity, right? Doing what you would say you would do, and of course, not. This is fundamental, right? This is not lying.
Yeah.
This is not cheating. This is don't put people in a situation where it's going to hurt them, right? Don't defraud people. So I mean, it's pretty simple business ethics rule that this landlord, of course, kind of in the name of profits, they forego all that, right? So the fundamental is, make sure not only you follow the law, right, the compliance side of it, but also the ethics. Even if it's legal, doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do, right? There's a ton of things they can do legally, but they can potentially hurt someone, they can hurt you, right? So the big thing is follow the rules. Not only that, but follow what's right, even if it may cost you some money. In this instance, the landlord lost $3 million. That's insane.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, don't do it. Don't lie. Don't defraud. Don't cheat for money. Don't cash in your long-term potential for a short-term gain. Right? Don't trade that. Right? Even though short-term may seem better sometimes, it's not. Right? Long-term will always get you farther, and it will generally put you in the game longer than short-term commitment to the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Well, I got another horror story.
Sure.
I got
you got two horror stories from that one night. There we go.
I know. I probably know more. We probably know more horror stories
Lots
than
of horror
most
stories,
people,
folks.
right? But here's one that I thought of. Do not, especially when you guys start accruing debt for your investment properties that you have, because I think there's good debt. My opinion is not all debt is bad. I know there's guys out there who say, oh, all debt is bad,
right.
But you know what? I think there's good debt. I really do believe it. Now, do you want to have a lot of debt? No.
Right.
But you always want to focus on cash flow, income, and equity, right? But it's good to have debt if you want to leverage debt to acquire those three things. But when it comes to debt and investment properties, the one thing that you always have to be really careful of, and I say this, don't do it 90% of the time, or even 99% of the time, or some attorneys will say 100% of the times. Don't do this, which is cross-collateralizing your investment debt.
Oh yeah, we actually
my gosh.
Yeah, we actually have a particular story, and I'm not going to say the name of the person who's done this to protect that person. Yeah. But this individual, and I'm going to also throw an arbitrary number out there. This individual took like 10 of their property.
More than 10.
Yeah, but I'm just going to throw 10.
Let's just say 10.
Just to protect the identity of the person. We don't want to give any clues or anything like that. But this person had more than 10 properties, but let's say 10 properties. They had loans on individual properties, right, which is generally safe, but it may cost you a little bit more money because interest rates and they're getting more payments, and on the management side it might be a little more difficult. But what this person did was they cross-collateralized all 10 properties, all the properties they had, into a single loan package, basically, and that bank, I believe, went underwater during the '08 crash and basically lost all of that person's property, like that, just one night, just gone, right? So that's a true horror story. So don't play around with equity. Don't mix it, right? Don't cross collateralize,
or even having your entire all your properties under one entity.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I mean? I own 7 LLCs.
Right.
7, right? But we also have 68 properties right now. We got another closing with 24 units that's coming up. That's going to put us at 92.
I think we have 2 24 units that's going to come up.
92, right? But we got one closing set for next month.
Once that, we're working on another one that's another.
We don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, right?
Exactly.
But same thing with LLCs. I have 7 different LLCs that control 68 total units.
Right.
Right. So same concept, right? You don't want all, right? Like, for example, I think investment diversifying is a myth. I really do believe that. I think diversifying legitimately is a term that came up with brokers and stockbrokers. Nothing against stockbrokers, but y'all sometimes do not have the best interest of the people. You guys are just more concerned on your commission.
Right.
Not to say anything bad, but that's just the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and also keep in mind, we're not telling you to go out there and get 10 millions of LLCs. Yeah, don't go out there looking for 10 million LLCs.
No extremes, man.
What we are saying is consult with an attorney to figure out what the best safety net, protecting your downside. We've been talking about
We got
that.
great attorneys, man.
Right, we do.
We have really good attorneys.
Before I share my horror story, we do want to thank a sponsor today. Tonight, we got a couple of sponsors that we want to thank. So one of the first sponsors that we want to thank is Blinkist. So if you guys are wanting to read 15... I'm sorry. If you want to read a book in 15 minutes, we're trying to mess up here.
I thought you were going to say save 15% or more on car insurance by switching to...
So guys, you guys see books that we read in the back here. We got a couple more books over there, but we read a lot. Daniel and I read probably a book a day, close to a book a day. And that's because we use this particular app where they actually take an entire book and they summarize it for you in 15 minutes with all the golden nuggets. So let me ask you this question. When the last time you read a book, were you able to remember 100% of the book's content? Like, the question is probably no, right? Unless you have like this genius mind, right? The answer is probably no. So chances are you only remember like the key parts that really matter. What this app allows you to do is it basically takes you through a 15-minute read where you can remember those 15 minutes and just remember the important parts of the book. So if you guys want to try the app for free, go to readwiththequakbrothers.com. That's readwith.thequakbrothers.com. We'll probably throw it on the screen right here. You guys will see it.
Right there.
Go to the readwith.thequakbrothers.com. You guys can sign up for a free trial. Check out the app. You guys will love it. What's also even more beneficial is that you can actually listen to it. So if you're on the car or working out, you can listen to it because there's going to be professional readers that are actually going to read these books for you. 15 minutes, boom, you got one book out of the way. So it's a phenomenal app. So I'm going to share my horror stories with you guys. The full story you guys can read actually in our blog. If you go to kwakbrothers.com, go to the blog section. But this is a horror story. If you guys ever want to invest in a major city limit like here in Chicago, do consider the precautions of the code, the laws, and the compliance and maintenance aspects of it. Because we actually, we have purchased some certain things that were ideally good investments, but we didn't have a firm understanding of the local code ordinances and also dealing with the tenants. So be careful investing in big cities because some of these big cities and metropolitan areas tend to have really tough code ordinances. They have tougher landlord
even the taxes, right?
The taxes too,
cash
right? So the landlord tenant act of some of these bigger cities tend to be more tougher on landlords. So check it out because read your landlord tenant act because some of these bigger cities tend to be a little more tenant friendly than landlord friendly, and they have laws that will set you up that could crush you. So we were actually this close from losing a lot of money. Thankfully, in this deal we did not. We actually broke even, luckily. We came so close from losing a ton of money on this deal just because we didn't have our understanding of this major city, Chicago's ordinances, and also how to properly put a tenant in these cities that have tougher rules to follow. So that's one of the horror stories that we personally experienced. Luckily, it was our own investment. No investors got involved into it. We broke even. Basically, we put in 20 grand. We're getting 20 grand back, which is good. But we learned a ton of lessons. We learned a ton of things from it. Not to invest, particularly in larger cities that have tougher landlord laws that could hurt you, right? If you don't have a proper understanding of it. So what we've done is instead of trying to learn these big giant laws, which there's merits to that, but we're going to go to cities and areas where there are less of, red tape, and they have friendlier landlord laws and better taxes.
Well, it all goes back to knowing your area,
right? Exactly.
Like at the end of the day, Sammy mainly didn't know the area. I don't know the area very well,
right?
So it just goes back to the fundamentals. It just goes back. So here's the main thesis of this podcast. If you're skipping around this podcast, number one, you probably shouldn't be doing that, right?
Yeah.
Number two, if you just happen to skip on this part, right? The main point of this podcast with all these horror stories, you can avoid them by something called education,
right,
and knowledge, right, and literally just due diligence, right, but mainly education, right, having a good mentor, right. I say there's always three stools of real estate, right. Real estate is a three-legged stool. You got knowledge, people, and tools.
Right.
If you're solid in all three, mainly the knowledge and the education part, you'll make very good money in real estate.
Right.
Yeah.
So we just shared our crazy horror stories, right? Take this, with the, bit of a, grain of salt. Yeah, grain of salt. I was gonna go there. So make sure you understand.
We're still learning English, people.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there we go. So make sure you understand. That's why we emphasize the education and mentoring so much. We have a mentor. We have coaches. We took education.
Multiple.
Yeah, exactly.
Multiple mentors. Multiple
we spent
courses.
a lot of money on training itself.
Hours of education.
Just because knowledge and knowing what to do is half the battle, and also knowing what not to do is also another half, the other side of the battle, right? So it's super duper important. That's why we're gonna throw this up on the screen again. If you guys want to work with us and kind of avoid the mistakes that we've seen and we heard and we personally went through, just go to the kwakwbrothers.com/learn. There's no cost of obviously for getting information to work with us. There is a candidacy process. Not everyone will get in. Like Daniel would say, we'll have.
Here's the thing. I gotta emphasize this. I don't want 90% of people that apply. I don't want them.
Right.
Just not in the right time.
Yeah, and and we get
attitudes.
And we have 500 people asking us every single month, to give them guidance and mentoring. So not everyone we're gonna see and meet are gonna get in. Unfortunately, we have a strict candidacy process where we want to weed out some of the people that I'm not saying they're not intelligent or anything.
They're just not ready.
They're just not ready. They're just not fit for what we do. That's super duper important. So that's pretty much it, guys, for this episode of the podcast. I hope you guys had a fantastic Halloween. I hope you guys are safe. Right,
the theme, horror stories,
right?
Halloween.
So next week, in conjunction to the Deal or No Deal webinar, we're going to do Tuesday night 7 p.m. Again, that's at thekwakbrothers.com/deal or no deal. We're going to be coming back to doing some more podcasts every week. Right? Tune in, and if you guys haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, shame, right? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll always have new videos coming out pretty soon.
I gotta do better about that, man. I gotta start putting more YouTube. You know what? Here's the thing. I made a rule. Once I get to 10 million, I'll start putting out videos.
We're close.
We're very close.
So, all right, guys. So appreciate you guys coming and tuning in for our podcast every week. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you guys want to learn more, again, there's more stuff down in the link description if you're watching it on YouTube. Stay tuned, and we will see you guys next week in the next week's podcast.
Happy Halloween. Have a good night, good morning, good evening. Much love to you guys, from us to you.
All right, great, guys.